We have to motivate these kids. The next step is we're going to be motivating them. We have to motivate the change because remember, they're already using whatever they're using, level 1, level 4, level 5, level 6, whatever they're using to understand and express themselves. We want to motivate change. We want to motivate that evolution. What is going to motivate them to increase? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to profile your intentions so you can find again, what is it that you want to do? What do they want you to help them with so that everybody's all on the same page? Because you're not going to be motivated if you're disconnected. And I'm going to show you how to find out what is it that we need to work on. And then you need to identify the late talker's motivations. So you have to profile your intentions and motivations and then profile their intentions and motivations. Mindset isn't enough. You have to know what you're going to do with that mindset. And then we're going to be talking about how to motivate with connection, how to motivate with empowerment, and how to motivate with personal value. And I have some really good language facilitation video examples of that motivating language facilitation talk that I use and Dr. Deepti uses. But the first thing you have to do before we get into it, and I know you want to hear the strategies, but I'm calling you back to your mindset. Just to have a check-in, because remember, you have influences from all over. Not everybody's talking to you like I am. Not everybody's empowering you to do this job. Other people are trying to make you do pictures or prompting or whatever they're trying to do. And if you find yourself doing these things, worrying, comparing your child to somebody else, prompting them, sliding back into it, just like Laura did, fast talking too fast, complaining about what's going on, or impatience. These are things that are triggering you that your mindset is going down, down, down instead of up, up, up. So it's important that you are checking in with your mindset all the time. And only when you can put those other voices out of your head.
If you view it as a condition, as an illness, that you're hearing it from a doctor, what do? You follow the doctor's orders. What I would encourage people to do is to look at their child, trust their instincts as parents, and also continue to look into more natural, holistic ways of helping the child learn life skills, learn academics, and move on. You would do that for your child anyhow. Well, maybe this child needs a different kind of support. That's fine. But it's not something that you shoo away. It's not something you suppress. It's something that you have to figure out just how to support in the best way possible. Now, there's a lot of evidence that they show you from these other lines of work saying this works, this is how it works. Well, it works in general. If you dig into the surface of those studies, some of them are like on a sample of 10 people who don't even share any of the demographic or physiological characteristics that your child might show. So you really have to take it with a grain of salt. And if it doesn't work, just drop it. But bottom line, there was a paradigm shift during the pandemic. I think two ways. More practitioners came forward with more naturalistic ways of addressing late talking. I started finding more of these conversations online. Two, as parents, we got closer to the process, because if the therapist is not coming home and you are the one administering those things via telehealth, be it school, be it ABA, speech, whatnot, OT, we were doing everything. We were doing our jobs, taking care of our family, and we were the educator, we were the therapist. So you kind of get a look under the hood and you start asking yourself, why are we doing this? Look, he's not responding to this. How is this helping? Etc., etc. And then I came across your community, and I wanted to do more. So I joined hands with you, and we started seeing positive shifts, because we always believed our son had more in him than what was showing up in assessments and in the moment, like that moment of measurement, or in those interactions. I always felt a little sad and awkward when I saw a stranger pulling him back to the table, him crying. I'm like, what are we getting out of this? I'm imposing a tantrum on him. He's right to push back. He's in his own home comfort zone. He's playing a musical instrument. Yes, it's time to do the exercise, but you know what? Wouldn't it be better if he just played that song I am grateful for the people who walked in the door when he was 3 years old, and we desperately needed guidance, desperately needed support, and they were very good. They were very qualified. He learned from them, he flourished with them. That's fine. But after a certain while, you got to have the guts to sort of eliminate whatever is no longer yielding, whatever is no longer optimal. So we're at this point where he's 7-ish, and I knew he had more language in him and it wasn't coming out. So your book is a very practical how-to and explains it just the way a typical person who's not steeped in science can understand.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at your profile. You're going to profile yourself this way, and you're going to look at your intention. So the reality is you only have this much time that you're going to spend 2 to 3 hours a day or more, whatever, with this late talker. What is it that you're going to work on? What is it that's important for you? Like I said earlier, a lot of parents come to me with statements of, I want my child to do this, like start talking, or I want them to stop doing this, like having meltdowns in public or something like that. And so what you need to do is you need to think about these things for yourself and analyze what is it that you want to facilitate. So what do you need the late talker to do more independently to make life easier? Because this is where you're going to start. And if you go back to those 1 through 10 that we did before, you can look at the things that your late talker struggles with, that you struggle through every day. I wish if he was potty trained, life would be better. If he would sleep through the night, life would be better. If he would eat by himself, life would be, this is where you put there. If he could or would, she could or would do this thing on their own, our life would be a lot easier. That's really important because you want an easier life, and these things are highly motivating for kids. So frustrations, and it's highly motivating for you to help to get those things solved too. So frustrations, this is your current issues. What triggers you to worry? What triggers you to feel restricted? Like, we can't go, we can't do, I won't do, they'll be judging, it's too whatever. What is it that you're frustrated about, that you feel this child's late talking is holding up your life and your current issues? You can't do because you've got a late talker. That's a frustration. Curiosities are your favorite aspects of caregiving. What do you love to do with this kid? What is interesting about them that makes you enjoy spending time with them? Like Adil was saying, I like spending time with my kid. Now I like talking with him, but even before that, I liked hanging out with him and spending time. What do you do? What is it that you do when you're doing that together? And then what makes you feel good and what makes them feel better or you feel better? When do you need a hug or a cuddle? What is it? How do you do that? How do you feel better? Do you have any way to feel better? Are you finding a way to connect and do all that stuff? These things are really important. And then here at the bottom of this form, now this form is in your workbook. And if you don't have a workbook, you can just scribble these things down just so that you know for yourself, because the answers to these questions are going to help you decide what to do. And then at the bottom of this form, you see here is a box to write your mindset level, and then a little statement here to just say, how do you feel about your journey? How do you feel about what's going on? How do you feel about your effort, your child's effort, what's been going on, all of that? And then what do you intend to accomplish? Like, I really want to facilitate this, because remember, you're not making the child do anything. But if you could map out your future of, through my facilitation, this is going to happen, that's what you put there, because that's what your intention is. That's why you're doing this. This is your why. Why am I spending time going to a seminar to learn how to do this? Because you have these requests, frustrations, curiosities, and comforts. And when you identify specifically what those things are, we're talking about spoken language here through connection. So you can use these things about yourself and then also about your child. So it's the same questions. What motivates them? What are they asking for every day? I would I always want this all day, every day. And if it's something that's connected that you do with them, like what connected thing motivates them? Because you don't want to write like it motivates them to sit by themselves in their room on their phone and watch videos all day. If that's all they have, that means you're not offering very many options for them to choose from. Because remember, what motivates them about hanging out with you? What motivates them about spending time listening to you talk to them about their life? That's what you want to know, because that's what you're going to do more of, right? And then what frustrates them? What would their life be better if they could do by themselves? They're worried. I can't do this. You're always touching me. You're always hand over handing me. I can't do it by myself. You're always controlling me. I'm too embarrassed. I'm too. This is frustration, right? I can't handle it. I want this thing to change, because remember, they want more of their requests and they want their frustrations to change, just like you do. You want them eating by themselves and sleeping by themselves, etc. Curiosities. What do they think is super easy? What do they choose in their free time? What do they want to learn more about? What are they getting really good at? These are the things that you need to know so that you know what to talk about. And then you want to know what makes them feel good. How do what do they use for regulation and soothing? What is it that makes them feel better if they're having a meltdown? Is it you? Is it connection? Are you feeding them and giving them videos, or are you using a connected spoken language experience to meet these needs? And this is something else for you to think about. If they're only wanting things to meet these needs that are disconnected from you, that means that they haven't learned how valuable you are. You're not showing them how valuable you are. And that's why when you look at your motivations and their motivations through these profiles, this is how you learn where to focus, because you have to motivate through your experiences what you love. You're going to motivate through connection. Aaron likes movement. He likes spinning. This was day one that I met him. He wouldn't even connect with me, but he went straight to his sister over and over and over again. And she's strong. I don't know how she holds him up and does that kind of spinning like that over and over again. But I want to show you here really quick. Woo. Yep. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach and teach. You have to reach into their world and learn what they love, like the language facilitation zone. Share your own connected experiences to show you're connected. I like to spin. I don't like to spin. I want to do whatever. Just like I was when he was looking at that phone. I don't want to watch that video again. It's boring. I want a new one, right? This is how you're going to motivate speech, because that even though Aaron didn't imitate me, he was listening when I shared my own opinions, and I got really deep into the fact that I didn't want to, and it was boring, and I wanted a new one and make it stop. I was using expressions that he was familiar with, and I connected with him over the things that he already knows and loves, saying things and doing things that he already loves. And so you have to expand his knowledge based on the concepts that he is focused on now. But when I met him, Aaron was focused on spinning. And the late talkers heavily focused on their obsessions. They're always going to be distracted from your teaching unless you give them time with their things. And so what you're going to do is people see these. I just did this video live on YouTube this week, these stimulation behaviors, because kids are really motivated by their stim behaviors. They want that fidget spinner or their popper or their thing they're chewing on or whatever. They really want to know what they want to use these stimulation things as tools to actually build their neuroplasticity. So you can do the same. It's really motivating to work with stimulation behavior so you can connect through the stim. Because remember, that's what we're doing. We're stimulating neuroplasticity, because what you're doing is you're connecting through, maybe it's a physical stim or an auditory stim or something like that, but you are adding the language models on top of it to actually expand that by yourself STEM activity into a language facilitation neuroplasticity activity where you're stimulating the neuroplasticities for spoken language. So these experiences, you can't just spin silently. You can't just jump silently. You can't just flap silently. You have to include spoken language. So let's take a look at how that looks.
Dinosaur chew time. You chew your dinosaur chew time. Dinosaur with your TV. Chewing and remote. Yeah, it's good. Then you can concentrate. Yeah, it's good. Work it out. Yeah, it's good. I like this chewing. It feels good when I chew my dinosaur and I can watch TV, kind of multitasking. And it's a lot better. I'm glad that you can touch and play with your dinosaur and chew it instead of your shirt and your clothes and your pants and all that. It's a much better way to use your energy with the dinosaur. Even you can chew the string. However you like. It's your dinosaur. You can do it any way you like. So good. And be done when you're done. Don't lose it though. Have to hang on. Good morning, Aaron. Aaron is here to say good morning on his way to school. And this is his new dinosaur friend to use. He can squeeze the dinosaur and bite the dinosaur. Bite it like this. Arr, I'm biting. Arr, arr, arr. Bite it. You can bite it if you want. I'm going to take it with Miss Ilma to help you at school if you need something. Yesterday, when we went to the zoo park, you got your monkey and you were eating it so much. And that one is yours to eat. Yes, that's how you do it. And that's what you can use if you need to take a break from work or you need to help you listen.
I just want to pause it really quick and remind you how much I'm talking, right? So remember, this is a nonverbal boy who is in stimulation activity. He's sitting there on the coffee table chewing on that dinosaur. He's laying in the bed chewing on that dinosaur. And I am talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. I'm talking about my experience. I'm talking about his experience. I'm talking about what to think about. And you can see that he's not looking at me, but he is. Remember, what we've got to have to get this neuroplasticity really rolling is there has to be a motor activity that goes with it. So if this little guy is chomping down on that dinosaur, flipping that remote around or flapping his hands when I talk to him, that's a good thing. Remember, you never shut down these STEM behaviors because we know from the fMRI research that there has to be a motor activity, that you can't make a child sit like this and talking will come. It almost always has to move. In fact, the study that I learned about with Dr. Harry Schneider out of Yale was they were enticing vocalization through movement. So like when people were riding on roller coasters, that's why you can't help but scream, even if you're like, I'm not going to scream, I'm not going to scream, and the thing starts going and you scream, because the movement subconsciously triggers neural activity in the spoken language realm, in the vocalization realm. So that's why you go, when you scream. So this is how, when you realize that these STEM behaviors are your friend and they will help you, because remember, we've got to build these neuroplasticity. We've got to build these neural processes. They are underdeveloped. Speech won't come until these areas develop, and they will develop faster with more stimulation, the right stimulation. Remember, right words, right way at the right time. So let's finish this.
You can chew the dinosaur. He'll help you listen. It's your listening dinosaur. Because the teacher wants you to listen at school. And, yeah, she does. She likes it when you listen. Yeah. So you can take this dinosaur with you. And Ilma will help you keep track of it because you don't really like to wear it around your neck. But you should keep it with you because it's yours. That's your special dinosaur that you can use. You don't have to share it. You can use it just for you. And I'm glad that you're using it this morning. Even you can listen to me Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dinosaur. Blue one. You have the blue dinosaur. Yeah. Good morning, Aaron. Ready for school with your new dinosaur to help you listen better and learn better. He's your learning buddy. Yeah, I like that. What's going on this morning?
All right, I'm going to bump this up a little bit. Whoop. Whoops. Yeah. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is motivating through empowerment. So obviously Aaron feels really connected when he's doing his STEM behaviors, and you have to be regulated and connected is the first one. And now when you get a child that's connected and listen, and you've earned their trust, because it doesn't take long. Now you want to empower them. You really want to present them with challenges that are easy enough for them to overcome so that they feel success, because success builds dopamine, and dopamine builds neural processes faster. So we want to focus on moving forward. That's why we don't have to worry anymore about where the late talking come from or if you're prompting or not. Don't even worry about any of that stuff. Move forward and motivate through empowerment, through independence. So we're going to teach the child things that they don't have, and we're going to remind them that they are capable and smart and intelligent and learning quickly every day and doing some amazing stuff. Because when you feel the feeling of, I did it by myself, it's so much better than you took my hands and brushed my teeth for me and we got through teeth brushing, right? Instead of, I did it myself. So this is what we're going for, because remember, this late talker's mindset, they must feel empowered and motivated by the job of learning to talk. And so we need to give them surrounding the idea of talking, because we talk about everything. We want to motivate them to see if the kinds of things that they want to learn. But it starts, remember, you've got some damage control potentially to do here. Because if your child, like Aaron, has had experiences with other people, other professionals who his time was trusted. He spent hours with them and they talked below him. They forced him to do things. It wasn't a very nice experience with him. So you need to show this child from now on that when they're with you, that you're on a mission towards spoken language. We're not even thinking about those old days where you use those other things. We're working on talking now because you are smart and you are a talker.
Everything, listen to me, talk to me, Aaron. How is it? Sometimes you have to give some space for somebody else to say something. I'm
Aaron's
always
like
talking.
it.
I'm so tired from talking. I want to hear you. I want to hear you talking. There's a person under here who knows how to talk. I know you do. It's me. He says it's me. I'm the one. I'm the one who knows how to talk. I'm just waiting for the right moment. What do you want to talk about? What are you thinking? What are you thinking about?
What's so cool about this is when you look at, I'm just asking these open-ended questions as if this child was going to open his mouth and say, I'm thinking about the beach, or I'm thinking about whatever. And, because I think a lot of people don't talk to late talkers as if they can talk. They talk to them as if they're animals or babies or, something like that. And I think this is what you're manifesting, right? So if you really want to empower a child to be a speaker, a child who's now a nonverbal communicator, you need to just let them know today that you believe that this is potential, that this is their future. And when you speak to them in kind, supportive, optimistic, encouraging, motivating things, you discuss their effort, you talk about their progress, and you share their personal perspective. Like, look, we're in this together. I'm here helping you. I know it's hard. I know your brain's developing, but I'm here with you every step of the way because I know it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen. That's why you got to stop talking about where to come from and virtual this or that. Talk about your future and how this kid's going to be a chatterbox. And then watch how they respond.
What are you thinking about? Thinking about something fun? Thinking about why are you always taking a video now? Everybody wants to hear how we are talking together. Everybody on YouTube wants to see you talking and me talking. Everybody wants to see you, handsome boy.
When you're talking, we'll go and visit her in Florida. Okay? No? You don't want to go? Or when we go to India, we can meet. Maybe she will be in India at the time. You know? So when Marcy goes, then you can have the bed all to yourself.
Yeah, you can play all by yourself. But it won't be as fun because I won't be here.
It won't be fun.
Yeah, you'll make it fun. He'll play with Grandma and Grandpa in the bed when they come next month. It'll be a different kind of play. And that's so good.
See how Aaron's moving his hands to listen? Just flapping his hands so that he can listen. Kids activate this neuroplasticity without even realizing
Something new. I see you. I get you. High five for you.
See you.
Okay, so the biggest thing that blocks performance is prompting. Even though you think that it's making your kid talk, pulling those words and behaviors out, these strategies block motivation to try speech because nobody wants to work all day, every day and be nagged. And so these are the prompting things that are the most common. In the Swapping the Prompting Challenge video, you can see there's 7, but there's more that have come up since then. I made that video 3 years ago, and thousands of people have figured out how much these specific behaviors, these prompting things. And this is what all speech therapists do. This is why it's so crazy to see that these things are what holds people up. So all those yes, no questions and all those multiple choice. Do you want this? 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 Yes, no. Tell me yes, no. All of that. Withholding objects for speech. We already talked about that. Demanding high five, please, and more. I know that, you want to make your child social and polite and all of those things, but these things do not help your child learn functional spoken language. They make you feel better in the moment, and they just make your child upset over time. Fill in the blank. Cow says, moo. Cow says, what does the sheep say? What is this? What is that? Old MacDonald had a farm. And then you stop singing. That's fill in the blank. Stop doing that. Sing the whole song. Prompting sounds or words. Obviously, don't make your child do this because then all they're going to listen to is do this. You model the words you want to hear. How many of these are you using? Singing parts of songs or rhymes. That's like that whole E-I-E-I and waiting. Requiring a gesture or sign, like we talked about there. Asking your child, what is it? As you point to the books, stop doing that. Pointing to sight words to read. Sight words are not good for late talkers. You need to use a phonics-based approach and even sound out sight words if you're doing that. That's a whole process in the future. And then asking your kids to expand single words. If they're saying cookie, to ask for the cookie, stop making them say, I want cookie, or chocolate cookie, or give me cookie, or my cookie. Give them the cookie and expand the language. So what you're going to do instead, stop prompting this performance because remember, the prompting is what blocks. And every other parent that you'll see in the testimonials saw their kids start talking when they stopped doing this. And what you do instead is you're swapping prompting with a different kind of stimulation. Because remember, neuroplasticity happens when you use the right words the right way at the right time. Prompting, those things that I just showed you on the last slide, are the wrong words at the wrong time. You want to talk about the situation you're doing. If you're brushing teeth, you talk about brushing teeth. You want to share in the struggle or excitement. Remember, pull that kid up into level 7 of connection, where they are right there with you and you know exactly what they know and they know exactly what you know, and you are facilitating together. Offer solutions or good ideas and encourage participation without demanding it. Yes, your solution is not going to be perfect, but every day it will get better if you demonstrate how to make it easy and keep the activity fun. Because eventually you want these kids to be doing all these things on their own independently. When they grow up to be 20 years old, you don't want to still be brushing their teeth and feeding them and putting them to bed and doing all that stuff. And I realize, yes, they're little children now, but if you're only making 1% improvement every day, you've got to get to work. There's a lot of things that you're doing, okay? So this is the situation. And Swati says, all these prompting are unfortunately suggested by the speech therapist, and I will straight away stop doing it. And this is why I spend time with this. You need to spend more time looking at your prompting behaviors and stopping being a therapist. Therapists are not parents and caregivers. Parents and caregivers are not therapists. Therapists only have a little bit of time and a bag full of toys and goodies to get and pull out as much vocalization or performance as they can in the little period of time that they have to work with your child. Even if they're at the school for 3 or 4 hours a day, I promise you, I went to visit the school. They're getting very, very little time where one person is talking directly to them about their experience. Unless they're going to school with a shadow teacher who can do that for them, they're missing, they're not getting. And I know that the speech therapist will tell you to do these things because this is all they know. This is all they know. Okay. So let's see. I've got a couple more here. Why is using sight words not right? Because it's another memorization technique. You're just prompting your child to spit out the label of ON says on. It's just like the picture of the dog says dog. It is the same job. When you are working on reading, if you're working on letters, work on letter sounds, sounding out words. An. That's how it goes. If you want your child to functionally read, because they may be memorizing and they may be learning to memorize what words look like. They may know how to read words that they have memorized what they look like, but it is not functional reading. It's not the same. You'll have to go back and do phonics. I promise you, this is, it's just not the way to go, because these kids, this analytic sort of learning, memorize that this is my hand, so that the next time I say, what is it? You can say hand, does not help the child. It helps you. You do not want to be a therapist who's writing data to say, look at how many words I pulled out of my kid, because you want a different outcome. You don't want more words. You want those levels, those functional levels to move up. And your child could be at level 3 for both expression and prompt dependence, prompt avoidance, and they could be saying a ton of words. They could be saying, I want everything, but only when they're prompted, only when they're cued, only when they're hand over handed. Then that's not functional communication, you see. It's just prompted performance. It's just a prompted performance of a spoken language behavior. That's why the Mary Barbara verbal behavior method has some results. The kids are putting out output. They're doing signs, they're pointing pictures, whatever she's teaching them to do, but it's not functional spoken language. And you are here to facilitate natural spoken language. So those things are not. And Preeti says it's like the Sunrise program. The only thing that's different between this and the Sunrise program is that in addition to connecting with the child, you have to match the spoken language modeling. You have to give them more and more and more and more and more. More and more and more and more and more. Okay. So it's important. All these things have been told to you. It's great to know these sight words, these picture cards, these pecs, these things, they all do have evidence. Look at Adil's video she just told us. There are evidence behind these studies. When kids use these things, they say more words. But you've already been at this for a while. Everybody watching this workshop right now, everybody here has been at this a while. This is not your first week of language facilitation. If your child's been in therapy for weeks or months or years, and you're seeing these signs of breakdown, you're gonna have a problem. There's not motivation to learn and expand, and you're just gonna be spinning your wheels and stuck at the same level, because remember, your child is actively developing their nonverbal language. It's not going away. It's evolving in its nonverbal way. They're just getting bigger nonverbal behaviors or louder or more aggressive. Because if they're shut down, they're only going to get bigger because the messages aren't going away. Your kids have things to say. They do. All right. So you're going to demonstrate the outcome you want instead of prompting it. Just demonstrate it and trust. Trust, guys, that your kids will
I
pick
got a
it up.
chance to listen to the therapy, what exactly is going on. So that's when I understood like it's not going in the right direction because she was making him by heart things, and
She said he was making him bite hard things. This child is 9, was spending his time, his precious speech therapy time, biting on hard things because this kid had a lot of STEM behaviors. At 9 years old, of course he had a lot of STEM behaviors because he's nonverbal still at 9. And he had all these prompted things. He had a lot of ABA. Let's listen.
it was all based on prompts, and I was not finding it like very convincing. Like, how can a child develop spoken language by just making him by heart things? Because he's not talking anything on his own. There was no own languages, like own spoken languages. Nothing was there. So it was all prompted speech. I read a lot of books, but in between I came across If It Isn't Fun, It Isn't Fun. And that was the most convincing book for me. Then in the end of the book, I saw the Waves of Communication YouTube link. And then I clicked on the link and I started doing some research. And the first video that I found was swapping the prompting, and I immediately started doing that, and within 2 days he started speaking few words on his own. So before that it was all scripted phrases, and the entire scripted phrases were removed from his vocabulary, and then he started talking on his own, talking in the sense just a few words in the beginning, and then it started improving, and now he is talking, but it's all limited speech. He has not come to a long sentence, and he's not continuously talking, but at least he is initiating the conversation. Then his listening skill improved. He started being attentive. When we talk to him, he looks at us. So all those things improved after using the language facilitation.
Clean up toys so you can dance.
All right, so this video is a little example of how prompting happens in families.
Everybody clean up the toys. And come back. Yeah, toys over here. It's not clean up a toy.
Clean up the toys.
There, on the floor. You want to put it inside on the floor. On the floor. Take this toy. Pick up this toy. Pick up. You child. Pick up this toy. No, not this one. This one. That's why. Yeah, now you know that.
So you can see that when, without an explanation, it was like, come here and clean up these toys. And he didn't understand what was going on. He's like, are we taking him out? What are we doing? Do you want to play bus? I don't know what you're talking about, because this older brother did not take the time to connect with Aaron. He's like, well, I'm going to make him do this. We got to clean these up. So we're going to clean up these things. But then when he just showed him what he wanted to do, all it took was a little demonstration.
Now you get it. Just need a little
Thank you, Dad. Oh,
Now this is fun. How fast can we clean up? How fast can we do it?
Now he can dance.
Give me high five.
Nice. I did my work. I cleaned up. I got a high five. Yay. Thank you for helping. What a big boy. now we cleaned it out and we have room for dancing.
Because it's heavy.
Okay, so we talked about motivating through connection and through empowerment. And now we're going to talk about motivating through value. Because remember, if you're prompting your child, you're not empowering them. And if you're not connected with them, they're just going to be doing things on their own. Now, you want to really motivate them through valuable stuff that's so valuable that they can't get enough of it. They want to follow you. They want to seek you out. They want to come to you for more of it. It's not like, oh, we got to sit and do this again, or we're going to sit and read, or we're going to sit and whatever. This is where this child sees you as such a valuable source of functional language models that they can't get enough of you. And so how you do that is you got to first of all find out what they want to talk about. So that's why those profiles were so important, because we don't just talk about the things we love. We complain. Oh, this is so whatever. It's to this, it's to that, right? So you find out, what do they want to talk about? What are they excited about learning? What are they complaining about? What are their opinions? I like this. I don't like this. And then you have to use everyday problems as an opportunity to teach vocabulary to express big feelings. When you have meltdown situations, you have opportunities for teaching. Okay. And you have to use them because that's valuable. Because remember, a late talker wants to tell you when they feel a thing because they want you to join them in their experience in the language facilitation zone. And you got to use those problems as opportunities instead of just fixing them for the child or solving them for them. Oh, you're hungry. Here's some food. Oh, you're this. Here's some this. Use those problems to dig in. I'm going to show you how. And you're going to give more detail during your everyday experiences. Remember, not just it's a dog, but why is that dog on the beach and it's all wet and all that business, right? And you want to move beyond the basic words that they've already memorized. Because remember, these kids are super great at memorizing. Tamalarsi, that's why your child knows sight words. That's why they know all the colors and shapes and numbers and letters. And they learned them years ago. They need to know how to use that vocabulary, because those little things, that's not valuable anymore. That's baby stuff. This is a dog. How about, why is this dog here? And look at how wet it is. And it's so big. And I've never seen a dog like that. And is it your dog? And whose dog is it? And is it scary? And can we feed it? And is it nice? I mean, all those things to talk about, because we're just curious about the environment. That's valuable. But baby stuff that's boring and underneath the child's intelligence, that's not valuable to them. And opinions matter. Teach expressions. Oh, I love that, or whatever, because you have to move beyond this. This is a this and this is a that. This is not how people talk. I don't walk through and say, I got in my car and drove to the aquarium today where I volunteered. I don't say those things. That's the old news. I talk about the drama that happened, the traffic that happened, the beautiful sunshine I got because I rode my convertible. That's valuable conversation. The people who I arrive at the aquarium to visit with, they don't want to listen to me talk about the sunshine on my face. They want to listen to drama or whatever. It's not valuable to them. Right? So remember, it has to be valuable, these models. Otherwise, they're not going to pick it up. But when they're valuable, they will. They'll pick up these words and phrases that they believe work better than their current behaviors. Oh, I could just say this instead, and it works better. And they pick it up. So that's what's important about motivating through value. And it's a super easy way to get kids to move up those levels. Okay. So now here's Aaron. He really finds music valuable. So now you're going to see me connect with his current level of expression, which is below the line. He's not using spoken language yet. And I'm going to work on expanding it without judgment or correction, by following his lead, by taking time to understand and interpret his messages, by sharing my messages, and responding to what he's doing before I start to expand and teach, because I want to maintain that connection. And then when I get it and I know he's listening, then I go all in and I talk above and explain. So here's how this all looks and sounds.
Now, What is that nice song Adam is singing?
Down in the rain and wash the spider out.
Oh, it's a spider.
That's that song. Oh yeah, it's Itsy Spider.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the spider.
I'm literally following his lead into the other room.
Whee! Out came the rain and dry sun. The itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again.
I want to sing with you.
Aaron's testing me, see if I'm going to respond to him. Oops.
Spider went up the water spout. Yeah, you're my friend. What a cuddle. I like that cuddle. Thank you. Spider went up the water spout.
So you can interpret that cuddle I just got as his way to tell me, awesome, I'm glad you came over. Thanks for, this was like his appreciation for, I kind of want to sit down over here and have you sing and talk with me, but I don't know how to ask you for that when he was standing over by the side. And then when he sat down and I started to do it and he cuddled me immediately, like, thank you, you got it. You understand what I want. Now, this was a super intuitive process, right? I literally had to follow his lead and see, and I might make mistakes and not guess the wrong thing, but I just keep giving and connecting.
Is there another thing coming? Oh, another song? What song is that? Spout. Down came the rain. Spout. Down. Down came the rain. Down. See, he likes that part. He's good at it and he's figuring out again. Practice. Right?
But he gets the tune nicely, no?
Very nicely, yeah. And that's the part that he's understanding the easiest. He can follow the easiest and grab the easiest. Because even if this thing isn't super great, you catch the tune. And then you have to listen carefully to catch all of the words. Yeah. It's a good practice for listening singing. Happy.
Oh, happy and you know it, clap your hands. That's what he's singing.
Happy and you know it, clap your hands. We sing that song.
So the other thing that's interesting about this is you can see how we can, yeah, it is. Itsy Bitsy Spider reggae. It is. But what it is really, you think is he's testing me. So this is level 3 of spoken language all day because he's testing me to see if I am actually going to give him more, or am I going to be one of those ones that tests him or ignores him or tries to shut him down. And he's so grateful for the fact that I'm sitting there and just letting whatever comes out not be judged. In fact, I imitate him or I participate with him. I'm not asking him to do anything anything or say anything. I'm just spending some time to connect. But what you see is also in my examples, I'm using a lot of the same level of communication. I'm using level 3 communication, or even level 2, where I'm using these nonverbal things, where I'm explaining the stuff to actually make that connection to help pull him up those levels through the nonverbal communication. If I'm too far above his level, do this, do this, do this, do this, talk like me, talk like me, talk like me, he won't be able to reach and grab up there. So you have to be above, but not too far above. And you have to reach down to where they are and use a lot of nonverbal communication and touch and movement. And that's really important to help them connect with you so that they do listen and push through their comfort zone. So that's what it is.
Even Marcy knows that song. See, we
I
understood
know a
what you're
lot of
singing.
songs. We can sing all day. Okay, tell me. Daddy Finger? Is it Daddy
Oh, that's his favorite song.
Is
Daddy
it?
Finger, Daddy.
Happy baby, ocean. May a happy,
Skin touch, wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm wiggling you. I'm wiggling you. I'm wiggling.
Showing you these long videos, you guys, because it takes time. There's a lot of time. When you heard Jenna talk about how it was weeks and weeks, and she was like, when is he gonna talk? Is it ever gonna happen? I keep talking so much. It's really necessary because remember, there's a lot we're damage here. This is
You woke up talking.
Look at this. Look at that.
Oh,
We're gonna get that
you
level.
know me, Marcy.
Talk to
You know me,
my
Marcy.
head and touch me and connect with me. Oh, you are my friend. You know what? We were tired yesterday after school, and we needed a little recovery day from all this time. You can play my footsie. Look.
He just can't stop touching me. He's just so connected. Look at him.
You want to get close and snuggle?
Super nice. But this is motivation, right? So this is when you really, again, we're trying really hard.
Happy ending. No, you really want to join it?
I think that's what it is.
Happy ending.
All
No.
songs coming in one breath.
Because he mixed up happy birthday and happy.
I think
Really
so.
want to show it. Now he's singing. If you're happy.
And you know it. Stomp your feet. Stomp, stomp. Happy and you know it. Touch your nose. Nose. And you know it. Happy
Yeah, and see all this
you
trying.
know
This is
it.
really what's important is that we see the trying happen. We see it happening.
Yeah, we're gonna work
And
with
that's what we're doing is we're motivating this effort to listen and try and connect and tolerate Marcy talking all the time. and all that stuff. This-
That's what Aaron says when he wants to say so many things,
I think
but they
so.
don't come
All
out
the
properly.
Ideas, all the words are there, and he just doesn't have the right way to get them out. But it's not stopping him from trying. I'm giving you a hand massage. That's kind of nice. Way to fix your hand, feel your hand, and happy.
Itch.
Happy birthday.
Sorry, my sound was off. This is Dr. Deepti, who's doing some language facilitation at her school with a little guy who's probably close to Aaron's age. And she's using pretend play as a motivating experience for him to listen and participate with. So it's a little bit more advanced than what we're doing with Aaron because this boy is more advanced in his spoken language levels. And you'll see the things that she's using are demonstration, easy directives with visuals, freedom to choose, right? There's no hand over hand. There's no prompting. There's options. She's giving him options to choose, acknowledgement of his understanding of like, oh, we're on the same page here, and then encouragement to participate without force. So let's listen to Dr. Deepti here.
To you, happy birthday to వీడి పేరు పెడదామా మారుతి హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే టు యూ హ్యాపీ బర్త్డే టు యూ కట్ చేద్దామా కేక్ హాయ్ టైమ్ టు కట్ చే టైమ్ టు కట్ దేంతో కట్ చేస్తున్నావు చాకు ఇది కావాలి నాకు ఓకేనా ఈ పెద్దది నాకు
So, do we have any questions about motivation? We're actually running really behind because I've got, we have a lot more to cover, and we're already after 3 p.m. So, we have less than an hour left, and I'm not going to take a break because I want to get through these next things. And so let's go. If you have any other questions, let me know. I see a couple of people dropping off. Maybe they need to take a break or something like that. But let's keep moving forward. So we've got our next section, which is about facilitation. And this is just basically how you're going to implement your daily speech practice. So that's what this whole section is about the requirements to see progress. Because remember, all of this stuff is good, but in order to really activate this neuroplasticity, we've got to do these 5 jobs. Every activity you facilitate has to do these 5 jobs: motivation, daily work, repetitive intensive exposure to speech, incremental increase. So you have to do more. You can't just do the same every day. And that motor task has to be included. Because remember, if you're not doing all 5 of these areas, you're not hyperactivating neuroplasticity, and you're going to stay in your comfort zone. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how to make opportunities. So the first thing we do is we're going to look at a motivating focus topic. So you're going to look at your profile sheets for ideas and choose things that you do a lot, because remember, you need the repetitive exposure to these things to get them moving forward. So you're going to choose a motivating focus topic that you're going to want to work on every day. You're going to choose skills that make life better. Remember those things: I wish life would be better if I could, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to choose repeatable strategies like connection and talking more, or inspiring or encouraging. And you're going to have fun overcoming challenges and achieving new skills and learning new speech at the same time. So you can see these graphics over here. Some examples are: this little guy's cleaning up. You can do chores around the house. Self-care skills, like in the middle, self-brushing, and then things in the community where you're taking care of animals or pets or your friends, or out in the community, things like that. And when you choose these focus topics, then you look at the situation, the whole situation. It's not like we're teaching kitchen items. We're teaching all the kitchen items you need to make curry, or all the kitchen items you need to make cookies. We're not just teaching random colors. We're teaching what are the colors that you need to make a rainbow. What are the colors of the animals in the zoo? Everything has a function and a purpose and a connection, so that through that functional activity, you learn all the vocabulary you need, not just the labels of the objects that you're using, but the verbs of how to use them, the adjectives of the, ways to go about it, and all the details about your results, like did it work or did it not, or do you like it or do you not, or should we show somebody else, and is it social, is it look at my thing, their own pride and their own showing what they do. These things are what motivates a child to get going, even a strong-willed child. So let's move over here. You're going to create this thing. You're going to make this formula. This is what you're going to do. And you're going to choose things that you want to work on
You're having
every
some
single day.
nice food
And
with
then you're
Fatima,
going to talk
looking
about,
out.
I'm just going to quiet this. You're going to talk about the experiences. So, like in this case, they're talking about eating. So, Lisa's just mentioning, she's talking about how she's cooking.
And more buttery, because that's the way Aaron likes it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way Aaron likes it. It's brown and buttery. And now we're walking to the table and we're going to eat it. He might need to try it there because he's not motivated to go to sit down. So now she's like, look, if you want to eat this food, she's creating the boundaries and talking about the experience. And it's fun and interesting. And she's using full sentences. Then she's repeating familiar word, buttery, crispy, paratha, that you like. You like to crunch it. You like to chew it. She's talking about his feelings, sharing personal perspective. And here's Aaron listening. The whole thing. He's taking her examples. He's starting to eat on his own. He's starting to pick his own things. She's making it easier. He's watching himself eat. He's looking at me talk about the experience. So when you're using every day, I'm talking about the food's going down in your stomach, and he's just like, okay, somebody's just talking about my experience. Because the reality is, in many families' cases, you're not talking. You're just feeding the child. They're just eating, or you're on your phone, or he's on his phone, or whatever, and you're not having conversation, nice conversation like Lisa's doing here with him, to just talk about his experience eating. And it's a lot of repetitive stuff. Let me get it. Here's the crispy part. Chew it up. Make sure you chew it before or you'll choke on it. I mean, these are the things that they're having conversation to talk about, but there's no devices here. There's no TV on. And here we are in the kitchen actually waiting for her to cook, and he's got a toy here, and we're talking about how he's playing with the toy, and he's listening to us share about that experience. Stop talking about the toy. Talk about my toast. And because he likes it when we talk about his experience, and his mom's like, nah, he doesn't want you to talk about it. He just wants me to deliver that toast fast. I'm super hungry now. But look at him. He's trying, and I'm talking about my toast, and everything is just surrounding this topic. There's no structured list of vocabulary or repeat it 5 times or anything like that. It's literally just the topic of eating, and how is the food prepared, and where does it come from, and how do I get my water, and where are the boundaries around it. Aaron knows that he has to stay in the kitchen and drink his water, stay right there and do it. If he walks around with this cup, it's going to be spilled everywhere. They've already worked on this strategy to get him, so as soon as he's done, he puts it right back, and he always knows it's there. Aaron learned these things because his mom was consistent. She worked every day to facilitate these things. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to schedule 4 times every day to focus on speech while you're doing something else, but your focus is on speech. So you're not teaching a new activity. You're using those things that the child's already good at, right? Already sort of good at, already interested in, already, can do a little bit, right? So you're not going to start with brand new things. So like Tamara says, how do I motivate a really stubborn late talker? You don't start with things that are too challenging. You start with things that are easy, things that they already know a little bit about, so that they experience good success and they become less resistant to your teaching, because they see, wow, when I work with you, you make it easy. So choose at least one thing every day as commute, bath time, eating, and do it every day. Attention may feel like a few moments long at first. Just keep on talking, because that's what I do. And the kids come around. Even if they're not looking, keep on talking. Start with easy self-care skills, like I said, that empower independence. Look, you did it by yourself. This is what you want to do, because that's going to be motivating. You want to expand household chores and jobs that are already in your schedule. So if you're already doing laundry, or you're already emptying the dishwasher, or you're already cooking, you want to expand to those things that you're already doing. They're familiar. Familiar, easy things are much more readily accepted than brand new, shiny, hard stuff that's that's all outside of their comfort zone. Remember, we're bridging. So then what you want to do is discuss all the expectations of effort. If oh, wow, you're not, it's effort, not performance. Look at how hard you're trying. Listen to all your talking, because remember, all that talking Aaron's done in these videos is not accurate speech, but it is coming and he is trying and it is evolving. And it won't ever evolve if we shut down this jargon fire hose speech that he's doing right now. So it's important that we stay with it. And then, you teach the chores that benefit others, because that makes kids feel really empowered and helpful when other people are appreciative to them. Because just like when I gave him the time of day to sit and work with him, Aaron appreciated that. So you know that these kids are capable of understanding and appreciating what you're giving to them. So yep. So, all right. So, what you're going to do here is you're going to create a weekly itinerary. And if you plan at the beginning of the week, right, then you're going to do these things every day and you should see an improvement through the week. So, Monday, it might be really challenging and you only get, 5 minutes, but by Friday or Sunday, you should be able to get more time because you're doing a little bit more every day. And here's how you do it. Remember, you're going to come up with those ideas that you like, but you're going to think like the late talker. Not all your opportunities will hit the mark. You just repeat the ones they love. If they didn't like it, figure out why. What caused the disconnection? Because that's the only thing. If it doesn't hit the mark, that means there's disconnect and you are responsible for reestablishing that connection. That's what happens with these strong-willed kids. They will see you coming with some kind of manipulation and turn the tables on you faster than you could even imagine. Then all of a sudden, now you're on the back foot and they're in charge through their behavior. Think like them to avoid them taking over. And you want to be flexible and open-minded and create these jobs that match the late talker's interest. You want to be the best recruiter ever and say, oh, you could do this because you're so strong or fast or smart or handsome or whatever it is. What makes this late talker super skilled and have a super ability to do that thing? That's what you want to choose. And you need to stay present and see opportunities everywhere, because all those 10 things that I gave you before, toileting, eating, dressing, watering, picking up dog poop in the yard, whatever, those are your opportunities everywhere to talk about speech. And then just be brave and dig in and work on the skills that you want. If it's really super challenging, start with making it easy and cooperative so that the late talker chooses to want to join you in that activity. If they don't want to join you in the activity or they don't initiate, they're not going to. All right, so I don't want to take the whole time. This is a really long one. Olivia's talking about her family, and she helped her son who was too unable to be understood. He couldn't be understood by anybody. Nobody could understand his speech. And so they just kept treating him like a baby, and he was super smart. And so he just started to get angry and shut down on everybody. And so Olivia started using bath time and talking super slow. And that's how her son started to develop speech. So it's really moving through those levels. That's all this is facilitating through those levels. Let me show you a little quickie here of me helping Aaron shift.
Aaron's looking happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Aaron likes to bring a little toy under the blankets with me. You're chewing it. You're eating that unicorn. I don't know. Ouch. Ouch. Don't eat me. Don't eat my head. Don't eat my head. I'm a nice unicorn. Hello. Let's play and sing. Jumpy, jumpy unicorn. Jump, jump, jump. You play unicorn? You want to play? You like making a unicorn video. Hello, unicorn. Hello, Aaron. He's so cute. Hello, Aaron. Waving. Are those your fingers? Hold my hand. Hold my hand on the video. Spend some time with Marcy. Yeah, singing and playing.
So you can see these videos, every activity that you do in your life, everything you can teach your child, everything like teaching them how to eat with a spoon, teaching them how to manipulate the apps on your laptop, how to do the laundry, how to brush their teeth. Everything you do, you just teach them how it looks to be independent. And you got to make this independence seem super fun and exciting. And that is how you will motivate a strong-willed late talker, because I think the idea is that, what is causing their lack of motivation? What is causing their lack of interest? If you want to look at it from the other end, what's causing their resistance or disconnect? When we talk about strong will, I want what I want now. Why is that happening? Why do they believe that they can have whatever they want whenever they want? How has your parenting experience from your mindset as a parent allowed the late talker to believe that they have the control to manipulate you? And I venture to say that those late talkers who are manipulating others, who are strong-willed, who will put that behavior to the nth thing and refuse. This is power struggles over expectations. You have some expectation of them, or they have some expectation of you. Like, I'll sit here and watch my phone and food will arrive, or you expect them to come to you and say, Mom, I want make me lunch. And if neither of those things are facilitated, they won't happen. And if you're both stuck in your strong will, then you're never going to come out of your isolated place. This strong will, these power struggles are broken through mindset and connection. And that's how all this works. Okay, I've got more slides for you. We have to get through this. And go to expansion right now. Okay, so we're going to work on expanding. I know a lot of you have some kids that are already up at the level 4, but we've got to get them past there. We want to work beyond responding. So maybe they are saying, you've got them to the point where they are coming to you and saying a single word, and maybe that's where you're trying to prompt them to expand it, or they're labeling things, or they're using some need-based or pop-out words or something like this. And then when they say dog, all you're saying is dog. It's kind of like that video that I showed you before where Haley was watching that video with her little guy, and he was saying, go, 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 after I said, go, 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 go. And all she did was say, go, 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 go. This is what you have to do when these kids give you something. It is their prompt for you to expand it. Just understand that as it is. They want you to agree, but automatically expand. So here's how you go beyond it. You have to when you understand what they want, talk about their why. Oh, you're thirsty. Talk in detail about how you intend to respond. Oh, you're thirsty. You must be hot. I'll get you a cold drink of water. Involve the child in preparation and delivery of their requests. You can ask them to get a cup, you can ask them to bring the thing, you can show them how to do the stuff. Remember, this is how you're involving them in their independence. This is how Aaron learned to get his own water, right? And then you offer empathy for feelings without compromising your own boundaries. So I know you want water, but I'm hot too, so we're going to share this water. I mean, there's all these things that happen when you hold boundaries. Then the kids will hold the boundaries too. But if you give in, there won't be any. You need to keep boundaries. It's very, very important. But you have to have empathy for their feelings. But don't compromise your own boundaries. Don't make yourself feel bad. Don't give more because they won't give more. You need to hold on to that. Explain in detail why they can't have what they want to have when it's not possible. And detail when and how they can have their desire in the future. So this is where you're going beyond saying yes or no. Yes, you can have this because now it's TV time, like Lisa said, or no, you can't have this because you've already had your TV time today, but we can play a puzzle or go for a walk or play with your kitchen or whatever. You can help me cook, that kind of thing. So that's how you know. You use what you know about them to offer opportunities. I know you like to help me cook. Why don't you come and help me cook? I know you like this. I know you don't like this. So you're complaining about it, right? Because you're offering new and fun opportunities based on what you know and expanding it, not just regurgitating it back to them, because remember, they need more. They only know what they know.
Try
They need
saying a
more.
longer
Okay.
sentence, and he
So
would
I'm going to forward pass through this too, because Haley has a lot to say. She has this late talker who is very detached, and she just started offering more and more and more, and then he started to expand. And here is an example. So I want to show you this video of us at the grocery store with Aaron. So
and colorful donut cakes and chocolate cakes. This is Aaron's favorite. Chilies. Ooh, spicy chilies. I don't want that. What are we going to look for? I like the cakes. So Aaron is finding a way to get some exercise. He liked all of these little rails that stop the buggies from getting. Aaron wants to play, and he feels the cool air. Just exploring the environment. How can I interact here? How can I play in this place? You're walking on the line, touching the fruits. This one fell. Go, coach. Pick it up. Thank you. Oh, put it on. Okay. Be careful so we don't knock the foods. We can walk if we don't knock the foods. Yeah, look at all the foods. It's nice and cold. I like the berries and fruits. Look at those things. So interesting. Up close looking. Aaron wants me to hold his hand. Uh-oh, down. You want me to hold your hand while you walk on the rail? There he goes. Hold my hand. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, one more fall down. Pick it up, please. That's it. Here, let's put it carefully here. Carefully, thank you. Oh, there's Daddy. Let's go. Yeah, go find Daddy. It's time to go. I like playing this place, but it's time to go. It's time to go. Let's go find Dad. Hold Mom's hand, and it's time to go. Bye-bye, railing. Bye-bye, grocery. Let's go with Dad. Okay. One more time to see the cakes. Just really like to look at these cakes. And now it's time to go. He's kind of found himself in a little loop here. Look at the cakes and go ride. But we had to sort of break that trend. Yeah, just I like it. Let's go find, where will we go? Aha! Just wandering around. He knows what he likes and he won't stop until he finds it. Let's go pay. Grocery store.
Okay, so the best way, I think, these life experiences are one way. So when we go and we explore things like the grocery store or new places, toys, experiences at home, these are all ways to learn new vocabulary, new concepts, introduce new things with those opportunity creation formulas. But this is where you expand with storytelling and pretend play, because you have to provide life's answers. And we talked about this earlier, where you've got this storytelling time at the end of your day where you're going to be replacing questions. So many people ask kids questions who are late talking, and they're frustrated because the late talkers don't know how to answer questions. You've got to have language to be able to answer questions. And how you learn the language to be able to answer other people's questions is through storytelling. And so you're going to replace the habit of asking questions with the strategy of sharing detailed stories, little stories about current, past, and future experiences, and you're going to do it all day. It's not like fairy tale stories, it's the stories of your life. So you're going to replace questions like what's that and where is this, where's the so and so, where's the this, where's your nose, where's the cow. You're going to replace those questions with stories that provide the answers. Look, the cow is in the field eating grass. Oh, look, my nose is on my face, right in the middle between my eyes. I need my nose to smell, and all of those things. You're going to replace those questions with statements and stories that provide those answers using things like location, description, function, and feeling. These are labels that most lay talkers don't have. They know the nouns. They don't even know the verbs, but the location, description, function, and feeling, they are missing. So this is how you're going to help them expand the labels that they know into more functional language and move up those levels is through this storytelling. And so you observe and describe the late talker's experience, providing context and detail. Look what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. You have to use topic-specific vocabulary. If you're fixing the car, you want to talk about the carburetor and the hood and the key and the remote or the electrical system or whatever you're doing, as complicated as it is. Use that vocabulary. Just speak slowly and easy to follow phrases as you explain what is going on, who is involved, and how you feel, along with their location, description, function, and feeling. And as you plan your schedule, then you're going to use these visual aids to explain where and when activities will happen. So, for example, if you're putting up a calendar and on Sunday you're going to the beach, you're going to draw a picture of the sun or, whatever, your umbrella or something like that. If you're planning to go to school on a certain day, you might draw a book or use stickers like that to help the child remember these things, because the calendar itself is a visual aid. So this is how you help kids, by understanding with pictures and stories about their lives, always providing the why and the how you will respond to the requests and directives. So if they're telling you, they want to drink, because non-verbally that they want to drink, you tell them the story about that time that they were so hot and dehydrated, and boy, it's a good thing they came to you to tell you they needed a drink because you didn't want that to happen again. Or, wow, they look really hot. How smart they are to come to you to get some water. They didn't even wait for you to go to them and say, are you drinking? It's important that we give the kids credit for the messages they're sharing, and then just expand them into stories, because this is how the language comes. These labels and prompting, it's the only way you get
the
out
instructions, and then I thought,
it's the only way you get out of prompting.
happy birthday. He's trying to
do those. Hang on a second. My slides goofed up on me. Yep. So these kids are doing an activity where there's more complicated directions and rules to follow this birthday focus. So the other one, Deepti, was just singing happy birthday and cutting the cake. These kids have a more complicated job, right? And that's because they already learned the cut the cake, happy birthday business. And these people are expanding this teacher.
Rishi, attaka pedama cake?
Everybody gets their own. Here's a cake for mom. Here's a cake for dad. Here's a drink for mom. So it's why are we doing them? Those are the things that you want to, you facilitate through experiences of, oh, everybody gets cake, and how, because even though it's not a real cake or a real whatever, these kids know how it feels. Oh no, mom doesn't have cake, she's hungry, she wants her cake, I want chocolate cake, I want vanilla cake. These kids, you could expand this really far into a nice little group activity, or even a one-on-one activity where you talk about your own previous experiences. So the way that we elevate from these zones, each level has the opportunity to increase, right? Until you get to 7, and then you just get better and better and better. But what you're going to do is you're going to offer these new objects, places, people, experiences to explore and move beyond what you've ever done before. So, this requires, you can't get here until you've had established connection and trust for at least a few weeks, because if you really want to push into areas beyond comfort zones, you've got to have a lot of trust that you won't let them fall down, that you won't let them get hurt, that you won't. And if they do, you'll be there to support them. But either way, to elevate beyond these comfort zones is the only way to evolve their speech out of where they are right now. So you have to offer a choice of attractive, free play options that are going to give them exposure to stuff that's more than what they know, above their level, not too far above. So, around other kids that are playing, around you who are playing, around situations where they can watch and learn from other people, because late talkers do, and they need to. And then you use cause and effect, surprise situations as teachable moments when they happen during everyday during everyday events. So, for example, when things touch the hot stove, they burn. When we throw rocks into the water, they splash. When we drop, the pixie sticks on the ground, they scatter everywhere. These cause and effect surprise situations is a good way to attract a child, sort of surprise them up out of their comfort zone, where it's sort of like those excitement. You're triggering excitement with these surprises. And that excitement builds dopamine, which grows those neural processes. All right, so now open and examine anything new in your household together. When the new toy comes, when the new thing arrives from Amazon, when you go to the store and you get it, unbox it together. Why do people make unboxing videos? It's super attractive and interesting because everybody wants to explore what's in there. What's in there? How does it work? So much language is available surrounding those situations. Use them together. Join in parallel exploration of materials that can be used in a variety of ways. If you're painting, paint with your hands and vegetables and your feet and your fingers, or your the other things than brushes. You know what I mean? Explore things in different ways. Or when you're out in the yard, explore how you do things in different ways. How do you use this hula hoop? How do I use this hula hoop, right? Offer fun ideas for experimentation. I wonder what will happen if I swing this thing around my arm. I wonder what will happen if I go inside this dark thing. Offer things that are like, I'll go first, watch me, because then they'll be more inclined to try it if they see that it's easy enough and safe enough for you. But offer them ideas and then discuss the potential outcomes. Oh, well, I don't know, if I go in here, I might whatever, but I know how to swim. If I jump in the deep water, I'm going to make a splash, but I know how to swim. Or if you jump in there, you could drown because you don't know how to swim. If we walk out in the busy street, we might get squished by a car, right? You want to talk these potential outcomes, success or fail, and introduce safety measures. That's why if we walk in the street, you got squished by a car. So that's why you have to hold my hand. And that's why we have to look both ways. All those things. This is all language that we develop around these situations, because anytime we've got problems to navigate or situations to work around or whatever, this is our opportunity to increase our comfort zone. And always get approval from the late talker before including them in any experiment. So if you're like, hey, let's go put our hands in this mud, before you force your child to do that, you've got to get their approval, of course. So then this video shows how these kids are struggling. This little guy is trying to get up on the couch. This other one's trying to tie shoes. This other one's trying to walk on the rickety bridge. This other one's trying to eat with a spoon, so that they are using everyday challenges to empower confidence. Once they have a little success, you're talking through the whole process and they're learning and they're growing and the neuroplasticity is developing. And that's how it is. So remember, you're going to offer opportunities, no forcing, no prompting, no modifying their independent experience. Relate your new offer to a past experience that was easy and fun and become a salesman. Don't lose your customer. Like Aaron's like, no, I don't want to play with you. I wanted to expand things. And I really need to try to talk him into it. He's like, no, I want to do the same old stuff, the same old stuff. And I said, yeah, but I've got another idea. I want to go sit at the table. I want to get out of this bed and actually sit and do something a little bit more structured. And so I had to bring the books to the bed to, go there to see like, okay, maybe we'll look at these books and see how it goes. And will he expand and will he come out with me? But I've got to reach where he is. And I talk about it. He's looking at the book while I talked about it. At least I got that far, right? And I didn't lose him. He didn't like run away from me. At least he's listening to me talk about these books that I want to introduce and, share some new ideas and talk about the things that we're doing. And then in the other room, he's like, I'm not going to sit at the table because he didn't trust me. I lost his trust. He's like, you're expanding things. And he's like, he was whining and he wants the phone. But now all of a sudden he's looking because I'm doing something a little bit more interesting to get his attention and show him something. And he's like, he's reconsidering. So he's testing. This is level 3 stuff, right? I'm testing him to see, come on, are you going to come and try with me? Are you going to do something a little bit more? And he's like, well, only if it's super easy, only if it's super fun. And if I don't feel like it, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to see, he's seeing too, if I will tolerate that no. Whoops, hang on a second. We got to go back here because we got to talk about this. Real short slide. Okay. So another way to expand is to use the problems to equip function. So this is where that strong-willed child comes in, those situations. Because remember, if they show you drama or resistance, it all means something. So you're going to evolve the social speech through problem solving and storytelling. Storytelling is the good start, but problem solving is a really good way to do this too, because you're going to use the opportunities when the late talker experiences drama. It's to something. You're to something. I'm to something for me to continue. And so when they experience drama or a problem they can't solve independently, you have this opportunity to teach them new concepts. So you respond to their emotional communication with kindness. You're not going to make them do something. You have empathy. You interpret their message. You're upset because I said no. You're upset because he took your toy. You're upset because you can only have 2 cookies today. You talk about what their emotional messages are and bring the problem out in the world and talk about what it is. As soon as you do that, the problem gets smaller. Because then you're going to describe the act that caused it. Oh, you're upset because I said no, and I said no because you've already had your cookie allotment for the day or video allotment for the day. And now I know you don't like that limitation, but that's our rules, and that's the triggering act, right? And remember, all of this is really expanded language, much farther beyond labels and requests. This is why we're struggling. We're talking about why we're struggling because we're triggered and they're upset and there's feelings that are caused. And what you want to do is model the emotional phrases to help them. So they need a way to talk about this frustration. That's scary. Oh no. Uh-oh. It's all gone. It's all over. Bummer. Oh no. And then you got like on the positive, but I like it so much. I want to go first. It's my turn. It's not fair. I don't want to do it your way. I mean, these are drama. This is real things that these kids experience because they're humans. And everybody gets disappointed. Sometimes we can't always get what we want. And so kids are going to push those limits. And when you give them these little phrases to work through and talk through their problems instead of just either solving the problem for them or forcing them through it or abandoning the problem as they walk away, dig in and work through. And this is a massive way. Those of you that are stuck with that social language, it is problems and storytelling that will get you past it, because these little phrases are super good anchors for extended things like, oh no, it's all sticky, or it's all gone and I didn't get my piece, or it's all over and I wanted another half an hour. You know what I mean? All of those things can be expanded into the functional phrases that relate to the late talker's experience. And that's what's super important about this problem solving strategy. Explain and demonstrate your idea to solve the problem, but offer to help your solution and get approval before you start delivering. Instead of, I know how to do this and doing it, say, I know how to do this and tell it. Let's push harder. Let's work together. Or I'll carry the heavy one, you carry the light one. Offer your solution and then get approval. Is that okay with you? I'll carry the heavy one, you carry the light one. How does that go? Then we'll only make one trip in the house with the groceries. You know what I mean? These are your problems. These are the situations of your life. And listen, we talk so much more about our problems, of what we complain about, than what we love. If what we love, we don't have it to tell anybody, oh, I'm enjoying this ice cream. You're in your own enjoyment. But as soon as the ice cream tastes nasty, you're going to say something. This is yucky. It's bad. It's whatever. Even if there's nobody around, you might say something out loud like, or you know what I mean? And those are what you expand. The late talker might say, or and then you have the opportunity to dig into that experience and help them expand it into spoken language that they can use. And this complaining and showing off, which is what these two things are. Storytelling is showing off. Look what I did. I did this thing. I am so smart. I'm brave, beautiful, talented. I have these skills and abilities. Look at me. Look what I did. Showing off, storytelling, and problem solving. I overdid it. I overcame this. We did it. This is what they write stories about. This is why kids like to watch the Paw Patrol and the Wonder Pets and all that stuff. That feeling of, we've got a challenge and we overcame it. We've got a problem and we did it. We've got a thing and we used our skills, talents, abilities, and resources together as a team to overcome those things. It's super empowering and it makes kids try hard. And when kids try hard, they make improvement. And this is what we're going for. This is how you expand. This is the gasoline on the fire. First, you have to get rid of the stuff that doesn't work. And then you have to double down on the stuff that is so appealing and beautiful and warm and rich that they can't turn it down. They want to show up every day and hear more and more of this. You whining about your problems. Oh no, I've got a headache again. And you digging into your own problems and talking about your own problems and digging into their problems and talking about their problems. This is what's super attractive and motivating because it's valuable, far more valuable than look at the pretty rainbow or let's talk about the colors of this. This is valuable language that your late talker wants and needs to do. They need to know how to use this stuff. All right. So, and this is it. Aaron is looking for something sweet right now. He wants to have a gummy. We've made this rule. He gets 3 gummies. He was literally digging in the fridge and pulling stuff out and throwing it on the floor because it wasn't the gummy that he wanted, but he didn't know how to ask for that. We had to dig into his drama and show him. He's like, give me something. I want you to give me something. I want you to tell me something. And digging into those frequent requests over and over and over. He knows he's got to have it. He took one gummy, he went and got it. And at the end, look, he's all excited. He's got his third gummy.
Last gummy for today.
Last one, okay?
No.
Last one.
Yep. This is the last one. That's it. No more gummies. No more gummies. Next we'll find your no more gummies. There's no more. Sorry. There's no more. You can try. Uh-oh, what will we do? Hey, Mom.
Yeah, sweetie. Oh, you had all the 3 gummies? Huh? Show me. Finish gummy. It's in your tummy. Finish. Now Mama give you tomorrow, okay? Mama give you tomorrow now, okay?
You did it. You have all your gummies. Those are your vitamins. So now you feel full of energy. And he was okay with not having. Good job, Aaron. Yesterday we had more problem. Today was better.
Okay, so what we know here from this expansion thing is that it has to go beyond you being a responder. You have to be a facilitator. And so it requires you to make this itinerary. And then as you put in those activities, so it's 2 things you're going to be doing. You're going to be responding to the late talker when they come to you because you want to motivate them to come to you to learn things. So if they come to you singing, they come to you telling you what to do, that's when you do respond with more than just the labels and requests that they have. And then when they evolve past that, when they get to needs-based spoken language and they're using some things like, more detailed nonverbal communication, even below the line. Your job as the facilitator is to help them move it up wherever it is, wherever it comes from, whatever level you get for that activity, because they might have a lot of vocabulary around one, like Aaron knows all the itsy bitsy spider, but he didn't know the vocabulary around the gummies. So, and the treats and sweet things and that kind of stuff. He needs to learn from those experiences more. But part of the reason that he doesn't know those vocabularies is because he's been so upset during those experiences that he uses nonverbal communication immediately. I don't have vocabulary for these feelings and frustrations and drama that I have, but I do have a really good nonverbal vocabulary for my drama. I know how to throw myself on the floor. I know how to push your buttons, right? They know how to trigger you into responding. That's why I have to talk about beyond response, because remember, you are helping motivate this child beyond the comfort zone. They will pull you back into this current language. They will try to pull you back down through their silence, through their tenacity of being quiet and resistant and whatever. They're going to test you, just like Aaron does. How far will I push it? How many gummies can I get out of them today? And then when you show them every day that you have rules and boundaries and an itinerary of time that you are coming to them to talk to them about this experience and focusing on speech about this experience, they will see that you are serious and that you are in this for the long run because you're doing it every day, day after day after day. All right, we're almost done, and I still have one more thing to show you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out, and I've got one more set of slides to show you, and we've only got about 6 minutes left. So we're just gonna move through quick, and I'm gonna refer you back to your workbook because this is where you're gonna find out everything. And so in section 6, we're talking about planning for 1% improvement every day and how to record your experience and collect data and use your data to learn what works to maintain your mindset. Okay, so we'll just keep it going a little bit. I know we'll run a little over, but and stick around if you want to ask questions. I'll stick around for you. But I just want to get through this so that you guys can see. This is in the workbook. It's a daily record. And every day you're going to analyze each area: connection, listening, speaking, and mindset. And at the end of each day, you're going to detail why you selected those ratings. What happened that day for the lay talker to show you? Because this is very important that you write down these observations because it will guide your next week. And be honest, these ratings are here to help you. You're not here trying to impress me or your partner or anybody else. You follow through with these things so that you see when blockages are sneaking back in, because they do. And then look for change. At the end of the week, you will see how your facilitation experiences affect the levels as they move up and potentially down, because, like I said,
It was
each activity
trusting
is
the
going to be
process.
different. And we're going to move through this. Haley, use the workbook. Before I had this workshop available, the workbook was what everybody used. And that's why I made it. I made it from experiences of working with people so long. But what you need to do next here is this, is create a weekly plan to incorporate the best and give up the rest. And this is how you really make improvement. When we talk about exactly what you're seeing, when you analyze each area at the end of the day, look at that whole sheet to analyze the end of the week. Connection, listening, speaking, and mindset. And then detail again, why did you select those ratings? What is it that caused things to move up and down? It's your experience that you'll have. And you have to identify then the most successful opportunities. And when I talk about most successful, that's the most attractive. What did they show up for? What did they really like? And what resulted in the best connection? And the best connection feels good. If you felt like it was fun and successful, maybe you didn't see the child talking, but successful means this was good. I saw connection. I saw listening. I saw learning. I could almost see the gears turning in my child's head. That's how you know it was a successful opportunity. And what were you doing when that happened? And then you want to plan for progress and identify the specific strategies that helped you feel confident that the connection and effort to practice speech are increasing, because that's what you want, is increasing effort every day. And you want to plan and document your journey for consistent progress. So every week improvement, understand why progress slows, find the most valuable strategies, stay ahead of problems, manage the mindset triggers, document and analyze progress, facilitate the natural spoken language your child needs. I've told you through this workshop exactly how to do that. If you want to continue your journey, the workbook is the way to go. The flu hours flew by. It's absolutely did. I knew that it was going to, I talked about doing this in 2 sessions, but I know it's a lot of time for all of you. And I really appreciate you coming to see me. There could be more. There's lots more to learn, but I really appreciate it. And Lisa said it was wonderful. We just made it right, just in time. So yeah, I hope I didn't talk too fast and everybody got it. So I'm glad that you feel more empowered to facilitate. This is what I want. The most important. And I also love this too. Thanks a ton, Lisa, for joining us today and for sharing Aaron with us and sharing your perspective, because I wouldn't have these beautiful examples to share without that. And so he is very adorable. And yeah, we wish him the best, because all of you guys. So Sonia says, thank you. Thank you for joining, everybody. I really, really appreciate this. If you, like I said, if you have questions about what's going on with your individual family, that 1-hour session, we can clean everything up. We can get everything squared away. You can learn everything you need to get over the humps. So those little things that you're thinking about your child. I don't like to spend time on it, but I know a lot of parents want to hear me tell them all the good things that prove that their autism diagnosis is a virtual autism diagnosis and not the real thing. But I think that I believe that the information that I can share will empower you so much to to learn how to do this, that you're going to tell other people. This is what I want. I want you to feel so confident in it that if you hire a shadow teacher, or if you hire a nanny or a maid, or if you have a nanny or a maid and you want them to work with your child more, you can use the strategies that I taught you today to help you connect more. And reality is, it's just keep it simple, everybody. It's about connecting. It's about empowerment of the child. And it's about trust, right? When they trust that you're in the facilitator mindset of empowering them to push through comfort zones, rise to challenges, and learn the speech they want. When they trust that you're in it for that game, they will show up and try more for you. But I don't want you to take this lightly. It's very important that you dig into this every day. It's exhausting. When I was in, I don't know if it's more exhausting that it wasn't my child. I had to spend a lot of time getting to know Aaron in a really fast period of time. And I know sometimes when you give up prompting and start moving into a more natural facilitation role, it can feel like a lot because your body's used to doing things. Your schedule is used to doing things. You're used to doing things another way. And now you're realizing that there's more you can do. There's things that are blocking your process that you can swap out and change, and to make your situation easier and enjoy it every day. And I know I'm going to call Lisa out for one thing. There's a lot of when you talk, we'll do this. When you talk, we'll do that. Don't wait. Do those things now. Use those things to facilitate the spoken language you're looking for. Talker's Journey. Check that out. And our journey's on there. Lisa talks about her experience very frankly as a mom of a late talker. And yeah, thank you so much. It's Aaron, lots of Aaron and me and Lisa talking about the whole situation. So follow me, you guys. Stay on the YouTube and Facebook. Pop in and say hello on the live Q&As and those kinds of things, even on the replays. So thank you so much for coming. This was super successful. I'm glad you all felt value from it and you learned enough and you feel empowered. That's my goal. And yeah, follow me on YouTube. There's more coming. And who knows? I'll be back in India next time. See you all. And this is it. Bye for now.